Hey, hey, hey. Welcome to tonight's show. So glad to have you in the building with me. I don't know who's out there already, but this is a new trial, I guess. I want to do 1 month, one show in the month to open it up for you, the community members of the Equip Institute YouTube channel, and uh, all the people who follow Purposeful Productivity to ask questions. We have had a month talking about habits, building habits, habit stacking, habit tracking. What's a habit? Different techniques. If you have, do you have questions around setting up habit trackers or defining them or methodologies? Great time to ask questions about that. The other thing I want to share is that I've been putting out a series of videos on Evernote. If you're not an Evernote user, maybe you have a question about something that I covered there, feel free. All I ask is that you go ahead and put Q colon in front of your questions. And this is really all about questions. And I see you guys are chiming in. We've got 3 people here with us already. So glad to have you in the building with us. And thank you all for already hitting the like button. And we haven't covered anything yet. So if you have no questions, it could be a really, really, really short show today. So, how are you all doing? The weather is turning, so that's really nice to have finally. And I want to go ahead and I think we got all newbies out, family members out there. But for those who join and you haven't been here before, go ahead and let me know by putting hashtag newbie in the chat. And the crew you already know, Live Tribe, here we are. Here we are. So let's see who we have in the building with us. Let's see if I can do this correctly. Nope, I can't do it correctly. I can do it correctly. I can do it correctly. I can do it correctly. So let's see how this goes. Hello, 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 Frank Jackson. Glad to have you in the building with us, one of our moderators, and you're waving at me in the lounge. And hello, hello, Yolanda. How are you doing this evening? Glad to have you in the building with us. And here he is, the emotional CEO, hanging out, saying hello and happy Friday, Live Tribe. Now, if you are listening and you're not commenting, glad to have you here with us. Hey, Hershey, so glad to have you. If this is who I think it is this Hershey? Why is it not coming up? Is it if this is Hershey? I'm so excited to have you here with us. You're part of the office hours gang, and that is super exciting. Tonight is all here to I'm here to answer your questions about productivity, your questions about systems, your questions about habits, your questions about tools. So go ahead and drop them in. I know you're used to me coming in with the whole thing prepared. That's not the story today. So while you're getting your questions typed in, I'm going to share with you one thing that you may not be aware of. And let me do this. Ecamm to the rescue. I got to do one thing here in Ecamm. That's good. All right. Okay. Hey, Harshid. So glad to have you in the building with us tonight. You're coming at a time where I'm not doing a prepared training or sharing. I'm here really hanging out. This is hangout time for all of us. Um, and I want to answer questions that you may have around the topic that I really hone in on and that I'm really super excited to share with you all. I do want to let everyone know I'm going to do this a little bit early next week. Next week starts the Iron Sharpens Iron Summit. It is 8 nights, Wednesday and Friday of every week. in the month of February, and I have a guest coming in to talk about mind your business, different aspects of being in business, whether you're in business full time, part time, thinking about going into business, transitioning, having a life transition. Maybe you're coming out of one career, going into another career. For those who don't consider themselves a business owner, really truly your career is your business. So when I say business is bigger than what you may think about. Even if you're working in a nonprofit is a business. So we're talking mind your business in 2020 in February of 2024. Eight fantastic business leaders, thought leaders, content creators coming on to share different topics and aspects. And I'm showing them here on the screen. Cher Jones, if you've never met her, she's a branding expert. Kirk Nugent, live video coach. James Hicks, a technologist and technologist coach. Joshua Ewell, branding, marketing, public relations, all the things. Like, really, truly, I believe he could do all of this by himself, but I didn't ask him because he just might get me. Tanya Smith, who deals with systems. Yolanda Bruce, who's in the chat with us, who's going to talk about finding your voice. It's a little bit different for her. She actually is an attorney, and I'm not asking her any legal questions. Just be real clear. I'm not asking any of those. But she has done a phenomenal job of finding her voice in a space in live streaming, in content creation, and in sports that still is not quite ready for strong women, even though they should be. So she's going to talk about that. And Steve Worthy, has built an international global leadership organization, and so he's going to talk about that. And those who know anything about the ECAM fam, Doc Rock, who has a eclectic background, not only in live streaming, but in production, in music. He was a DJ, he was a performing artist. He also was in the military, so he has medical background. He did medical work in the military, and so very, very diverse. But he's gonna wrap it up at the end of the month, and I'm super excited because he's never been on the show before. So I'm excited. Now, this is the thing that's different for those who've been with us over the last 3 years. You have an opportunity to not just watch on YouTube, you have an opportunity to come behind the scenes into what we call the lounge and participate. So there's going to be a portion of each session that's not going to be public. You will be able to ask questions and interact with each of these phenomenal leaders one on one and have some private time to talk with them and learn more. And so that is a very a unique part. This is our third year of doing this, and this summit. This is the first year we're actually calling it a summit, and it's the first year we're having this private time with them. So you can register right here on the page. One of the moderators will drop the link in chat for you, and come through. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun, and we're going to learn a lot. I'm excited. I've got my pens and paper already ready for it. I don't see anybody asking any questions. Nobody has a question? So I will answer one question. Actually, someone left a question on a comment on one of the YouTube videos. And the question was, would the person put all documents in Evernote? And as I said earlier, I've been doing the series of videos on Evernote, which is a phenomenal work management productivity tool, all in one. You can do so much with it. And the way I responded to the person, I want to dig in a little bit. I don't recommend putting all documents in Evernote. I believe it will make the file bloat. It will bloat up the file. The documents that I put in there are things like the thumbnails, the graphics for the shows go in there, and that's partially because the emotional CEO the emotional CEO, that's our workflow. I will put copies of receipts in there. I will put in copies of handwritten notes. I just take a picture of handwritten notes and put them in there. But like Excel files, even though you can, video files, audio files, um, word processing documents, I don't recommend putting those in Evernote to store long term. Now, you may be working on a project where you temporarily put it in and then you take it out, but I wouldn't, just because those files can be so big and your Evernote database can just get bloated and bogged down. Um, it's not designed to just be a file storage management space. And that's the way I would um, recommend. The great thing is, and I haven't released this video yet, is Evernote has a tight integration with the Google environment. So if you use Google storage for file storage, you have tight integration to be able to quickly from within Evernote open a Google Word document, Excel spreadsheet, form, or whatever without having to leave it. And so that is an option, and it is a really great workable option to use for file storage. So, wanted to share that with you all. I did see somebody else come through, and I want to say hello to him. He's making fun. He's saying, David Hunt, I'm still new. Look and see, hashtag look and see. You are not new, David Hunt. You are not new. And I don't know what you're saying. Thank you for, Yolanda, but thank you for saying it. Thank you so much for saying it. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the summit as well. I'm excited for what you all will bring to the show. You all are having too much fun. Salute at David Hunt. Yeah, moderator salute. We have quite a few people who are YouTube channel moderators with us this evening. So I'm always excited and learning from you all. I literally have not had anybody ask a question. So, in 15 minutes, we can be done. Hey, Roy, glad to have you in the building. Uh, thank you for having and driving. Please be careful out in the rain. That you're driving out in the rain, and don't have an accident. Don't have an accident out there. So everyone here, it's interesting. All of you all have um, are creators, which is exciting in one way or the other. Some who are public and some who are not, but you create. So this will be great. I do have a question of the day for you. So I'm going to ask you all a question. This is coming out of last week. Are you tracking your habit change? Whatever one or two habits you decided that you want to take part in and track for whichever method you decided. When we talked about week one, we talked about different habit tracking techniques. Are you tracking those habit changes? And if you are, put a one in the chat. If you aren't, put a two in the chat. Let me know how you're doing. Habit change, habit change, habit change. That's what we've been talking about. And hello, welcome to the party, Miss Tornado. Glad to have you back in the building with us. Glad that you could make it tonight with us. You missed me talking about the summit that's coming up. So there's should be a link in the chat, but that kicks off next week. And I'm so thrilled that um, that it has that it's coming. It's here and we're locked and loaded and ready to go. Great. David says he's using his Hydrate Spark to track your water. So you are. So one, your super special water bottle that you have, tracking getting your water in, and that's your habit. Awesome. And David said, I looked at TickTick today and saw that it has a habit tracker. TickTick is phenomenal. I was looking at and considering switching from Evernote to TickTick. And it still may happen. Let me just say this. There are quite a number of the features that are similar. The interface is different, but TickTick, what it has a habit tracker in it, so you can build all kind of habits. It also has a Eisenhower matrix in it. So if you like the four quadrant Eisenhower matrix, that's built into TickTick as well, so you can move your activities around to fit into whichever those four quadrants that you want. TickTick also has integration with Google Calendar, and two-way, similar to Evernote. It has built-in note taking, so you can not only have tasks listed, you can and track. It has you can have notes. You can just document all your notes in it. So it's very powerful. Excuse me. I thought I was gonna sneeze, and I still feel like, yep, I was gonna sneeze. Sorry, I didn't mean to crush your ears. Um, and TickTick has the one thing that TickTick has that Evernote doesn't have built in easily is it has you can use flip your views instead of in list view for your task or activities. You can flip them to the Kanban, like the columns of information. And if anyone is interested in me doing some videos about TickTick, please let me know. I spent quite a bit of time. Thank you all. Quite a bit of time with TickTick, and it is a very powerful um, product tool. And it doesn't require as much setup as like a Notion does. Notion is phenomenal, but Notion requires it it requires quite a bit of setup with the databases. So it works really, really well. These are great tools, and I know some of you all use them. The right tool is going to be unique to you and the way you function and what just resonates with you. And they all will work. Yeah, your style definitely makes a different your 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 teaching style, um, and your learning style and your information processing style definitely makes a difference in which tool you use. Um, I'll say this: how you m- manage your money makes a big difference. And by that I mean if you're fundamentally a person, and there are people who have this thought process, they don't. There are some people who do not believe that they should pay for software. They believe that the software should be free. Now, how you get there is kind of puzzling to me because people make software and people make software because they are trying to make a living like the rest of us. If all software is free, then the people making the software are not making a living. So I find it a little ironic that people think from the place of I don't want to spend my money for this software. I want it. I would just make it free for me. Now, if that's you, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different mindset. Then the tools that you use will be driven by that. And let me give you two that I talk about often here. If you're in the Apple ecosystem, I often talk about using the tools that come with the Apple ecosystem. They're not free. You've paid for them. It's just that you're not paying something as like a separate line item. All Apple devices, in essence, are at a higher price point than others, which means in some way of form or shape or fashion, you've paid for that software. So another set of tools that I share is the Google ecosystem. If you use whether the paid or free, they both work. If you use the free set of tools, you can get a lot of what you need. You can really truly run your entire workflow in those tools. Again, the difference is how you think about it. Is that a primary objective for you? They will require you to put a little bit more effort in to, if you will, as I call it, design how your system works for you. Something like a tick tick, Evernote requires you to put a little bit of effort in. That's why I'm going through Evernote Simplified, the series of videos, because you do need to see how you can set it up. Tick tick will require you, David. I'm glad you signed up for premium. It'll be phenomenal. It does require a little bit of setup, but it'll work great for you. And we know that one of our faves, Kirk Nugent, uses Tick Tick. And I remember a little while ago, excuse me, he said he had moved away from it and he had come back to it. And I can understand why he would come back to it. So we got some more folks who have joined us. So let's say hello to them. Let me go. And if you all have a question, please put it in. Good evening, Michael Fleming. So glad to have you in the building. If you have a question, please put Q colon in front of it and ask questions. Today it's all about Q&A and nobody's asking questions. Hey, Philip, loving your shorts that you're putting out. And I did enjoy seeing your content calendar. You put some work in on that thing. And hello, good evening, Inanea, one of our moderators here on the channel. So glad to have you. Yes, hey to you. And folks are greeting each other. That's always nice. So there are 11 of you all online with us, watching, listening, participating. If you have not subscribed, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the thumbs up button. I couldn't think of the word. Y'all help. I couldn't think of the word. What in the world? My mind went blank. My So, okay, here comes Toro with a hard question. I knew somebody was going to ask me a hard question, but I love it. I love it. I love it. Thank you for asking a question. And her question is, let me get it up here so you all can see it. What's your best advice from Atomic Habits from someone who struggles with discipline and follow through? This is like a three-part question. The biggest thing I would say is make it easy. Make executing the new habit something literally that you don't have to give any thought to and almost no energy to. That is the power of when James Clear talks about stacking habits, linking a new habit to something that you already do. Because when the simple one, and this is something that he described, if you want to get healthy, don't start with, I'm going to run every day, or I'm going to do this big thing every day, or I'm going to go work out at the gym every day. Start with, after I brush my teeth, I'm going to take 3 breaths. Brush my teeth, stand there, take 3 breaths. Why? Low energy, quick, really doesn't require much any discipline, but taking that small step will help. He also talks about in the book, if you haven't read it, you have something that's a cue, something that is a reward. So your cue in that example is you're brushing your teeth, right? Just you're brushing your teeth. That cues your mind. Oh, I'm brushing my teeth. When I finish, I'm gonna take 3 breaths, right? David, you and okra water. I'm gonna come back to that. Then the reward. What do you get? What's pleasant? We as humans, we seek pleasure. So what's pleasurable? What's something that you can reward yourself with? Maybe it's, you know, having a snack that you wouldn't normally have. Thank you, Miss Tora, for driving your car up the driveway, all the way up the driveway, almost on the front porch, right? So his premise and thesis is if it requires discipline and follow through, then it's going to be too hard for you. So you got to make it something that's not hard. That habit has to be something starting it, because once you start it and you do a little thing, the little thing will grow and expand into the bigger thing. Wanting to exercise starts with taking the 3 breaths. Well, once you get that habit down, you can add another one, right? Because you already got that one down. You add another one. So that's my best advice. Really hone in on that part where he says, make it something easy to do, something that doesn't require a lot of energy from you, something that is not something that's pleasant in a way that it's pleasant. Maybe it's setting up your environment that's pleasant for you. Because as humans, we seek pleasure. So if you got something else, I see your question. I need to start this. I'll come back to it. So that's my thought around this topic. And all of us, myself included, have things that we want to change or new things that we want to do, new experiences, new capabilities, new functions. And adding that new in requires something to change. Habits are formed, and you don't unlearn a habit. You simply replace an existing habit with a different habit. Tell on myself. I am horrible at drinking water. So, David, I should probably be doing what you're doing. But what has helped is taking a gigantic bottle of water and I'll sip on that. If I've got to get up and go get water all day, I'm not going to drink it because I'm not going to get up and do that. But having these around, these big giant bottles, I'll drink it. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Another question she has. For the overthinker, how do you prevent habit stacking from becoming overwhelming? Last week, a week before last, I said pick one, at most two, not 10, not even five. Pick one, at most two. Get those under your belt. Get those dialed in before you start adding and adding and adding. Why? You add so much that A, you can't keep track of it. B, you don't remember it. C, you get exactly what you said, overwhelmed. And D, you might as well not start at all because it's too many. It's too many all at the same time. If you are not a reader, you don't like reading, you don't really read, you don't really listen to audiobooks, and you want to develop the habit of reading, then let that be the thing you focus on. Either using the 21 day, the 90-day, whatever method you want to use. And if you say, okay, I'm not going to pick up a book and read it, but I'll listen to an audio book. So you get the audio book, but listening to that audio book for 15 minutes is too much. Listen to it for 2 minutes and turn it off and go listen to music, go watch television, whatever it is you normally would do that is your thing. But stack it with, I'm going to watch the nightly news because you watch news every night. But before I watch the nightly news, I'm going to listen to this audiobook for 2 minutes. That's it. Just 2 minutes. Have it queued up and ready to go. And that's your habit. It doesn't become it. You may listen for 2 minutes for 2 weeks straight, and then suddenly you can listen to for 3 minutes. And then you'll listen a little bit longer, and then you can listen for 5 minutes. That's the way they are built because your brain, your body, everything in you becomes adjusted to it. Yeah, those were two really good good questions, David. I absolutely agree with you. Yeah, Torah. I, once our mind learns something, it doesn't really unlearn it. So to change our behavior, because habits are about behavior. They're not about the way we think or anything. They're our behaviors. So the only way to change a behavior that we want is to replace that behavior with a different behavior. Right? So if my behavior is I eat a Snickers bar every day, which I don't, and I don't want to eat it, I want to not eat a Snickers bar every day, I need to replace that habit with something else. Doesn't mean I don't like Snickers bars. And until I replace that habit every day with eating carrots or whatever, then I'm going to still eat the Snickers bar every day. So, Florence went Abraham mode all the way down to at most. Yes, 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 at most two. Why? James Clear says it in his book. You gotta make it easy. You gotta make it easy. Hercules, being a superhero to form a new habit doesn't last. Take it from somebody who has tried many a time. Many a time. So that's how I know. I've struggled with making habit changes myself, which is how I know, because it's from personal experience. Denise says, and excuse me, welcome to the show, Denise. Let me just tell you this, and then I'm gonna come back because this is gonna go off, but I have to tell you this. I got your 30-day declutter tool, girl. I gotta work. Ooh, ooh, that should be my habit tracker. That thing is the truth. You hit everything. I'm like, this is such a great tool because you don't have to think about what am I going to tackle next? What area am I going to tackle? Some are big and some are small and everything in between. Some are multiple days. So thank you for A, doing the challenge, and also for B, making a tool available that we can use to follow. And you can do it anytime. So congratulations on getting through that 30-day challenge with your community. with us. So Denise says, I like to read, but I'm doing more on audiobooks right now. Maybe I should get the audio version. I can listen while cooking and cleaning. Yeah, you can listen while I used to listen to when I drove into the office every day. I would listen to a podcast on a topic that I wanted to learn on my way in to the office every day. And it was 20 minutes because the office was, unless I was going to a hospital or something, but my actual office was like 20 minutes from me. So in that 20 minutes, because I had the habit of listening to the podcast, it was Drive Time University, which a lot of people hear about. I would submit all of us here on the stream tonight have heard about it, but we don't practice it. We hear about it, we intellectually know about it, but we don't practice it. And knowing about it and not practicing it doesn't do us any good. All right. So, how do you know when a habit replacement is actually working versus when you're just forcing it? When you do it without thinking about it. A habit is a habit. When you execute that thing and you don't even think about doing it, you give it no thought. That's how you know it's replaced. When you're still thinking about it, you're still working through it. It's still being formed. Think about, I shared this and I'm confident, I won't say, I'm confident you've heard it. How do you put your socks on? Or how do you put, which arm do you put in your shirt first? You don't even think about which foot you put your socks on first. You just do it. But okay, tell myself. I put my sock on my right foot first. And I was thinking about this this morning. I was like, why do you put your sock on your right foot first? Because it's become a habit. And I literally don't even think about it. I get the socks, I get myself all ready, go to put my sock on, right foot comes up. That is when it's working. When you're not giving it, me reading my Bible, I ain't got to give it a whole lot of thought. Just read my Bible. Planning my day, not something I give thought to. I've been doing it every day for years. Checking my calendar, give it no thought. Why? I've been doing it every day for years. There are other things I'm so not good at. I'm not telling you what they are, though. Oh my goodness. Tora, where you been? Where you been, lady? Summit. Florence is having a summit, and how did I not know about it? No, well, Frank, Wednesday, February 5th. Wednesday, February 5th. It's the first way. Oh my Tora, lady. Miss Yolanda, please get her. Please get her. Please get her. So, Tora, I'm going to do this just for you. Frank dropped, or one of the moderators dropped a link in the chat, but it'll bring you to this event page. So, for those who don't know, in February, this is kind of a history. This is the third year I've done this. In February, I like to celebrate Black History Month and I like to honor Black leaders, nothing against anybody else, but honor Black leaders by bringing them together to sow into us. And this year, I'm expanding. The prior 2 years, it's been 4 leaders, one each Friday in the month of February. This year, it's going to be 8. I'm doubling it. I don't know what got into me. And so every Wednesday and Friday in the month of February, one of the leaders that's on the screen here will be sharing with us. They each have their topic. What's different is there will be you will be able to come into the lounge, interact. Lounge. I use lounge because I don't like the word Zoom. You'll come into the lounge, register, come into the lounge, be there during the show. But when the show ends, each of the speakers will give us another little bit of time to answer questions, interact, have conversation that is not recorded and not shared with those who register. There will be a public portion. You can watch it, YouTube, but there is going to be a private portion that won't be publicly available to everyone. So these are the fabulous eight: Cher Jones, Kirk Nugent, James Hicks, Joshua Ul, Tanya Smith, Yolanda Bruce, Steve Worthy, and Doc Rock. So those, they each have their own topic that they're going to cover. And you can go to the site and read their topics and register. So that's the event page for the summit. And this year, the focus is and the theme is minding your business. Minding your business. Okay. So yes, it's at 6:30. So it's at the same time as this show starts, 6:30 p.m. Eastern, 5:30 p.m. Central. Wait a minute. What do you say? I wear feature socks and they are marked left and right. So whichever one I grab first goes on. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Oh. Oh, no, 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 ma'am. I will not tell you what they are. Mm-mm. Not doing that. That would be tragedy. Let me just tell you. That would be tragedy. Yolanda, we are in trouble. Oh my goodness. We are in trouble. She is coming for us. She is coming for us, Miss Taurus. So, does anyone else have questions? If not, it's 7:12. We've chatted, we've talked. Um, I'm double checking, double checking, double checking. Okay. No one else has any questions. I am so excited that you all joined me. I'm always excited to have you all here. Um, Love, thank you. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. If you have not hit the thumbs up button, please hit the thumbs up button and come back on Wednesday of next week as we kick off Mind Your Business. Oh my goodness. Yolanda, help. Oh my goodness. Let me just, I have a special sermon coming for you too next week. She is coming for us. So, thank you all for being here. I appreciate you showing up and sharing and hanging out. Just having a hangout. And March is ladies, nothing against you gentlemen. Ladies, March is International Women's Day. Just saying. Just saying. Just remember that. Tora, I got something for you. All right. So that is going to be it. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to let you guys have a great weekend. Love hanging out with you.